Okay guys, today I'm going to be ranking every single Great One fur type in the Hunter Call of the Wild. I'm talking every single fabled fur type that's available in the game, not just overall species. Let's jump into it. Disclaimer before we start the tier list, this is just my opinion, so please don't shoot me. You guys might have your own opinions. This is mine. First, we're going to start out with the whitetail. We're going to go in order from when the Great One was released in game. As you may notice, I have not listed the fabled piebald fur because I personally don't know if it's real. Never seen anybody get it, bar a few examples that got it from a lodge bug when Rancho del Arroyo originally released a few years back. So yeah, first we're going to be starting with, I believe this is the fabled brown or the tan. I'm not too sure. I know this one's the dark brown. I don't even know why I'm waffling about this. They're all F tier. Let's be honest. There's nothing special about them. You're hunting whitetail for the racks. The racks, beautiful. Fur types, not really nothing special. Then we got the red deer. The red deer only has one fur type as well. Kind of weird. Hopefully they add some new ones in the future, but I wouldn't be opposed to them just keeping it as one. I think it's a very cool design. Personally, think they add too many great ones to the game. Kind of makes them not as rare anymore. But anyways, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a solid B tier. I might revise the list at the end. But for now, I'm putting it at B tier. Now we're getting on to the black bear, which my personal opinion I think is the second best looking great one in the entire game. I think all the furs are pretty good, but I think one stands out as the very best. I think it's the spirit. It's going straight to the S tier. What a fur type! What a great one! Can't can't say much else about it. Um, let's get on to the second one I have personally. Fabled cream. Used to like this one a lot. Now it's whatever to me. I still think it is decent though. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the B tier as well. I think B tier will be probably the average. Probably have more than any other category. Might as well to get the third one that I got. The only have three black bear great ones, sadly. Maybe more in the future, but the chestnut. This one was my third favorite starting. Not the biggest fan of it anymore. We'll put it in C tier for now. Here we have the fabled glacier variation 1, I believe. I think it's also pretty good. Probably C tier. Don't think it's better than the chestnut though. The fabled glacier second variation is what we got next. I personally think it's the worst of the black bear, so I'm gonna put it a C as well. I do think the worst of the black bear is still better than a lot of the other great ones though, in my opinion. And then here we got the fabled spotted. I actually believe this one's very good. I think I'm gonna put it above the cream actually. I do really like this one. Moving on to moose. Now moose have very good fur types all around, but I think the rack is very dependent. Certain fur types look horrible with certain racks and then amazing with another rack. But I'm going to be just rating the fur types, no combos. First, we're starting out with the two-tone, which is the one that I have. I believe it is quite good. I'm going to put it in A tier. Now moving on, I believe this is the fabled birch. I think this one is decent as well. It's going to go into C tier. It's not bad, but there are better in the moose category. Now, the fabled spruce is the second one I have. I think this one looks wonderful with the typical rack. Other than that, I think it's pretty lackluster, so I'm going to put it at D tier. I will mention the fabled typical rack and the fabled typical rack. The fabled spruce moose, kind of hard to say. With the typical rack is my favorite moose combo, but the fur on itself is kind of lacking. So, like I said, it's going into D tier. Maybe it'll move up in a bit. I don't know. Next up, we have the fabled speckled. I actually think this is my favorite of the moose fur types, personally. So it's going to go up to A tier. It's between that or the two-tone, but I'm leaning towards speckled because I think it looks better with overall with certain racks. Next up, we got the fabled ashen. I think this one is pretty good. I'm going to put it at C as well. I think maybe move up to B. I'm not too sure. I might move the whole C row up to B eventually toward the end. Next up, we have fabled oak. I think fabled oak is I think it's better than birch, but I don't. It's probably better than ashen too. We'll keep this for now. Onto the fallow deer. Fallow deer is one of the fan favorite great one species. I really enjoy the species. I think it looks great personally. So let's start out with Fabled Hooded. This one's very underrated, I will say. I used to not be the biggest fan of it. I only have one, and it was with the spoon rack, which I think is the worst mule deer rack. But the fur type, I think it's a solid C tier, like toward the top of C as well. Next up, we have the Fabled Silver. My opinion, the worst of the fallow deer. It's between that one and the gold, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and say the Fabled Silver is significantly worse, probably because I've seen it more times, and I really don't want to see it again, unless it's with an Irish elk rack. But we'll leave that for now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it in probably D tier. I do think it's better than the moose, the spruce moose. Next up, we got the Fabled Painted. I think the Fabled Painted is amazing. I'm going to put that straight into B tier. I think it is either my first or second favorite of the fallow deer fur types. Would love to get another one of those. Next up, we got the Fabled Golden, also for the fallow deer, of course. I think it's got to be in the same tier as the silver, honestly. I used to really like this fur type. It was my second favorite one at the start, but now it's my second least favorite. Next up, we got the Fabled Mocha. I think this is either the first or the best fallow deer, so of course it's got to go into B tier right next to the painted. Okay, now moving on to tar, possibly the hardest great one to get in the game. My opinion, it's the hardest. I actually have every fur type of tar. It's the only one other than fallow that I actually have every fur type of. But I do think it is the hardest. It's either that or the fox. I got very lucky in my grinds though. I only averaged about 300 or 400 kills per great one, so herd management does wonders, guys. So first up, we have I believe this is the Fabled Snow. Was my second favorite tar when I started shooting them. I'm torn between C or D because it's a great fur type, but there might be better ones coming up. I'm gonna put it in C for now. I think it's pretty average. Next up, we get the Fabled Skull, straight to the top. My opinion, best tar fur, one of the best furs in the game. It looks absolutely amazing in game. It looks absolutely amazing in the photo, so you know it looks even better in game. But yeah, straight to the top, S tier for me. Next up, we got I believe that is the Fabled Latte, I want to say. Because I think this one is the Fabled Gray. The Fabled Gray tends to look a little bit blue. The Fabled Latte, it's a bit boring. It's a good fur, so I'm putting it in a D. Just a reminder, every fur on this list outside of the F tier is amazing. But sadly, some have to be below the others, and I just think that the Fabled Latte, for example, is below some of the others. Next up, we got the Fabled Half. I believe this is actually the last of the tar I had to get. I think it is good. It's basically a copy of the Fabled Two-Tone Moose. So it's the same thing but in reverse essentially. Well, so if I had to put the Two-Tone Moose in A, you'd think I had to put this in A as well, but I'm actually gonna go with C because I think the fur on the moose looks a lot better than the fur on the tar. The tar, there's just better options, you know? Moving on, we have the Fabled Gray. Underrated. The blue eyes in game make it pop more than the photo. Actually, I'll put up an example of it on screen right now. It looks way better in game than the photo. A lot of great ones do that, so don't judge them before you see them in game. I've been lucky enough to see everyone in game, either on my account or somebody else's, so I know what they all look like in game. So I think I'm, qualified to rate them all. But yeah, with the Fabled Gray, I actually think I'm going to put it in C tier above the others. I think let's drop it below the snow. I think it's probably the third best of the furs. Tar, maybe fourth. Moving on to Fabled Golden. I don't know if it's Fabled Golden or Fabled Gold, but either one of those. It's good. Sadly, it's going into D tier. I think it's the worst of the tar. But like I said, the list might move around. I might move everything upwards. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut and I'm going to add another tier below. Another tier above F, sorry. I forgot to add that originally. I was going to add that originally. That's why it goes from A, B, C, D, F, and not E. I will be right back. I'm going to add an E tier. Okay, guys, I am back. Sorry about that. This is my first Call of the Wild video where I'm actually talking, so it's a little bit, a little bit nerves are up. I don't want to mess up and have to retake the video again. But yeah, I'm going to right now. I might move down. I'm going to move down a couple. I'm going to move down these into the E tier. I think that's fair. And then I'm going to also move this one down to the D tier, and I think we'll be fine there. The F tier is really just for the whitetail. I don't think any of the other great ones will make it to F tier, personally. Some people might hate certain ones. I'm looking at the cinnamon stripes mule deer specifically, but I still don't think it's F tier bad. But anyways, let's get back onto it. We have the Fabled Scar Tar. Looks great in game, looks terrible in the picture. Tossing up between this one and the Fabled Gray for my third favorite of the tar. I think the snow and the skull are obviously, the skull is my favorite and the snow is my second favorite. The scar, I'm going to actually put it below the gray for now. Maybe it'll move up later. Don't know. Next up, we're moving on to the Great One Red Fox. The best great one in the game. Let's be completely honest. The fur's amazing. Not a single bad one. We're going to have a lot of S tiers. Possibly some A tiers, not sure. Let's get the first one out of the way. Fabled Licorice is my absolute favorite of any fur in the game. So it's going straight to the very top of S tier. Next up, we have the Fabled Blood Moon. This is my most recent Great One Fox. I have 6 of the furs. I've actually got 6 Great One Foxes and 6 different furs. So I've gotten pretty lucky with that one compared to some other species. So yeah, with the Fabled Blood Moon, I think it's a mid-tier one. I think it's not bad particularly, but it's not good. And by not bad, I mean not as good as the others, because obviously no Great One fur other than the whitetail is bad. Maybe the cinnamon stripes mule deer. Not sure. I'm gonna put it at C tier. I think I like it better than the bears. I don't think I like it better than the hooded fallow. I think the hooded fallow is very underrated. I think it looks beautiful in game. Next up, we got the Fabled Candy Cane. Looks absolutely atrocious in the photos, but in game, it is one of the nicest looking great ones in the game. It is one of the 3 foxes I am missing, and I hope it's the next one, because it looks great. I'm going to put it straight into A tier, actually. Next up, we got the Fabled Cherry Blossom. This is my least favorite of the red foxes going into the grind. It was actually ended up my first one after almost 4,000 male kills, so 8,000 total. And my opinions have changed. It has blue eyes in game, looks absolutely beautiful. The photo is a catfish. I'll put an image of it up on screen, what it looks like with max ultra graphics on PC. Looks absolutely amazing. So it's going straight into the top of A tier. Not quite S. S is sacred. Next up, we have the Midnight Poppy. Now, the Fabled Midnight Poppy, in my opinion, is the best looking fur in the game. My favorite? No. That's for the licorice. But I think the Fabled Midnight Poppy looks the best of any of the Great One furs in game. And I do personally like it a lot, so I'm going to put it in the top of A tier. Very easily could move up to S. Think it's the best looking in the game. Personally, not my favorite, but gotta give credit where credit is due. It looks amazing. Next up, we have I get these two mixed up. I don't know if this is the Fabled Snowdrop, Mystic Snowdrop, or the Rosebud Frost. These two, I think, either way, these are the other two I do not have. I don't have either of them, so that's why I get them mixed up. They are probably the 2 worst of the foxes, in my opinion. But the 2 worst of the foxes still gap most of the game, in my opinion. I am going to put both of them into C tier regardless. Now, do I think they're better than any of the tar? Personally, maybe better than the Scar. So yeah, I think that's what we'll go with. Don't know which one is you know which, but I think this one does look better than this one in game. Forgot the names of them. Well, didn't forget the names of them. Forgot which one is which. But anyways, let's move on to the Fabled Peppermint. This one I also think looks amazing. I think it's going to go into A tier. Not much to say about it. It just looks great in a game. Next up, we have the Fabled Scarlet Nightshade, one of the cooler looking great ones in the game. I wish the black on it was more like the Midnight Poppy black. It's almost like a gray kind of black. So I think that pushes it down a little bit for me. I still think that it is A tier and possibly better than the Cherry Blossom, but not too sure. So now we're going to move on to the pheasants, which I am not too crazy familiar with the names on. I only have one Great One pheasant. I have the Great One Obsidian. So we're going to start with that one. I believe it is this one. It looks terrible on the photo. In game, looks okay. Changes color depending on the way you look at it. I personally think it is not too good though. Would I rather have another golden tar or another obsidian pheasant? I gotta go with the golden tar. Sadly, I'm not a big pheasant guy. Some of them do look good though. Speaking of some that do look good, next up we got the Fabled Citron, which I believe is the best looking one in the game. Hoping that's the next one I get. I think it's a solid A tier, honestly. I don't have it, so I can't, go look at it right now, but I've seen it in game and it looks quite good, I can't lie. Speaking of another one that looks quite good in game, this one, I believe this one is Fabled Ruby, because I think this one is Morganite. And I think this one looks quite good in game as well. A tier, maybe we're getting a little out of hand here. Moving a little too quick, possibly. I think C is fair. Bottom of C seems fair. Maybe it'll go up. Who knows? Next up, I believe this is in the Fabled Emerald. I'm gonna be completely real. I think it looks very boring. And then this one, I don't know which one is Morganite and which one is Granite, but this one, the red on the wings makes it look pretty good. I think it's a C tier. As for this one, I think it's a solid D tier. I think it's significantly better than these ones, but it's not better than these. Wouldn't say it's better than any of the tar though. Next up, one of these is Pearl and one of these Sapphire. I believe this one is Sapphire. I think it looks quite good as well. I'm going to put it in the C tier. And this one, I'll have to go with, bottom of D again. I do think it looks better than this. Better than the tar. Not too sure. Probably not. Now, on to the newest great one in the game, the Mule Deer. A lot of people really like this great one. They've wanted it in the game forever. I personally don't really like the Mule Deer great one that much. I didn't want it in the game. I would rather have had Gray Wolves. I think we need more Predator, great ones, because I think the fur types look amazing. But here we are. It's cool. It's a very easy great one to get, so I can't complain. Extra great ones are always good, but as I, said in the beginning, they don't feel as rare anymore. So I'd rather them tone them down a little bit, maybe one every 2 years, maybe even 3 years. Not one every year, that's a little much. They're gonna run out of species at that point. But anyways, let's get into it. First we have the Fabled Petal Puff. I believe I have 2 of these. I got 2 of the same combo back to back. Not back to back kills, back to back grinds. Never had back to back kill great ones. That's kind of crazy if you've had that. But the Petal Puff is one of the better mule deer, in my opinion. I think it should go top of C tier. I think I actually like the Oak Moose over it, though, personally. The Oak Moose looks great. But so does the Petal Puff. Next up, I believe these are actually swapped in-game. This one is supposed to be the Fabled Milky Way, and this one is supposed to be the Fabled Dusky Drift, but they are reversed in-game, I do believe. At least, that's what they were shown on the concept art. And it just makes more sense, because this one looks like the Milky Way, this one looks like a Dusky Drift. But So I'm going to be calling them what they should be called, not what they are called. The Dusky Drift, can't lie, it's kind of mid. It looks cool, but it's definitely D tier. I would say I would take it over the Golden Tar, though. Specifically, I don't know if I'd take it over the Fabled Half. Definitely wouldn't take it over the Fabled Gray, but probably over the Golden. I think the Golden is lacking a little bit compared to the other Tar. Anyways, next up we have the Fabled Milky Way, which in my opinion is the best Great One Mule Deer fur. It was actually my first one, and it was my favorite rack as well, so I got my favorite combo as my first one. It wasn't my favorite combo to start, but it definitely is now. The Heart Rack is very underrated. Don't know why people don't like that one that much. I think it looks great. As for the fur type, I think it looks great as well. I think it's going into B. I don't think it's better than the Fabled Citron Pheasant, though. And I definitely don't think it's better than the Fallow Deer. They really cooked with the Fallow Deer. Next up, we have the Cobweb Enigma, I believe is that one. And then the other one is Dribble Drizzle. This one's pretty good. I think it's like either C or low D. Actually, I'm going to put it around the same as the Dusky Drift. I personally think they're both the same. They're like the same level in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the same tier. Next up, we have the Dribble Drizzle. I believe that this one is also around the same as them, but I believe it is a little bit better. Do I believe it is better than Gray Tar? I honestly don't. I do think it is better than the Fabled Half, though. I think it looks quite well, especially with certain racks. Next up, we have, and final fur type, we have the Fabled Cinnamon Stripes Mule Deer. It's obviously S tier, let's be honest. Come on. I'm just kidding. It is utterly garbage. It is probably the worst fur type that isn't the whitetail. And honestly, I don't know what I keep doing. It might be on the level of whitetail. Is it? Because the whitetail fur types, they're not bad. They're just nothing special. This one just doesn't make any sense. I believe I will actually put it in the F tier because it is that bad. I still want one though because I want every Great One fur type, but would I want it as my first fur type if I'm a new player and I'm going after a Great One for the first time? Absolutely not. I'd probably quit the game if that was my first Great One. I'm not even gonna lie. I would never Great One grind again. But it happens to a lot of people, unfortunately, when they add Great One fur types like that. So, anyways, this is the final list in my opinion. I'm looking over it now. I don't see much I would change. Maybe, move the red deer down a little bit. I think I'm going to do that actually. I think I'm going to move the red tier down to C tier because I think though the fur type is cool, I don't think it is as unique and on the level of detail as the other ones. When I'm ranking the red deer, I do believe the leaves on the antlers should be factored in as part of the fur because it is completely unique to that fur, and yeah. So this is the final list. If you guys would change anything in the comments below, put it down there, and yeah, I would like to hear your opinions. Opinions are always welcome. That's it for this video. I'll be making more of the Hunter Call the Wild content shortly. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.